Well, good morning, everybody. We'll get started. Thanks for showing up on a holiday. It's like, to me, holidays, I appreciate what it stands for, but I never take work off unless it's Christmas or Thanksgiving. Those are my 2 days I take off. Can you see the screen and everything? Cool. Yeah. So just so you guys, I say this all the time, but like a month ago, we had 7 subscribers to our YouTube channel. So I've been putting it out there. Now we have almost 30, so that's good. But we have 97 agents between here, Twin Falls, Coeur d'Alene. It's like we got to have 97 subscribers to our YouTube channel, right? It's like it makes people don't even know. We do these classes and we put them up on the screen and we film them so you can guys watch them later on YouTube. So again, that's what we were just talking about with the what you're capable of thing, Gina, right? It's like it's not what you're capable of that matters. It's what you do that matters. And in real estate, that is such a valuable lesson. It's like agents are capable of all kinds of stuff, but what do they actually do? That's what actually gives you your results. So most of us, me included, for much of my 31-year career, overvalued potential. I had a coach tell me that one time. So I've had 4 different coaches in my career, and my coach told me one time, she goes, Rick, you really overvalue potential. And it really hurt when she told me that because I'm like, yeah, you're right. I started thinking about it. I was like, yeah, because I could do all this stuff. I have like all these whiteboards in my office with potential buyers and all these things I could do and classes I wanted to teach. But what was my actual calendar? What was I doing? Not just what was potential, what was the actual stuff? And I was like, yeah, you're right. I overvalue potential. And I started learning a lot of people overvalue potential. I see that all the time in life. It's like, what are people actually going to do? So I was at a restaurant the other night. Chris and I were talking this morning. Chris never talked to anybody, by the way, before he got into real estate. He was telling me that this morning. Now he talks to everybody. We were at a restaurant. If you're in real estate, you better talk to people. That's one of the keys to success in real estate is relationships with lots of people. And a lot of people know, and not being afraid to talk to people. So I'm in a restaurant with my wife on a date night, just the 2 of us. And this started because we were having this conversation at my school, my daughter's school. She goes to high school. She's going to Asia in a month. Well, in a couple months now, she's going to Asia. So last year we had this meeting to see who wants to go, and there's 10 different kids that showed up with their parents, and we're going to the school, and my daughter looks at me, she goes, Dad, don't embarrass me, because she knows I talk to everybody, right? And kids today don't talk to anybody. Like nobody. She's a senior in high school at Rocky Mountain, and she knows 10 people. Seriously. How sad is that? I graduated in 1988. I knew everybody in my high school class. I had 92 kids in my class. It wasn't a very big class. But we all knew each other. Everybody talked. We didn't have cell phones. Everybody just talked to everybody, right? I said, I promise you, Haley, if I went to this school right now, I'd have 20 friends in a week. I promise you. She goes, I would talk to people. She goes, Dad, they have headphones and they're on the phone. I don't give a crap if they have their headphones on. I go talk to them anyway. I do that at the gym all the time. I talk to people and I ended up having a half-hour conversation with a guy at the gym who took his headphones out and we just sat there and talked for a long time. It's like, just initiate conversations with people. So I was at a restaurant with my wife. This guy had a McLaren hat. So I raced cars for 9 years. I love car racing. Formula One's big to me. Guy had a McLaren hat. It's kind of rare to see a McLaren hat. So he looks like he's probably 75, older gentleman with his wife. They came in after my wife and I were done. I just went over there to him. I literally just walk over, and he was sitting there staring like this, so I just put my hand on his shoulder. He looked at me. Oh, I said, are you a McLaren fan? He goes, yeah. I go, are you happy that Lando? Oh my gosh, da-da-da. We started talking. Turns out we talked for 30 minutes. I got his phone number. He got mine. He has a McLaren 12C. He wants me to come drive it, show him some stuff. The whole evening, my wife came over and met her wife, Gloria. We ended up talking. It's like, just because I initiated a conversation because of his hat. The point is, if you're in real estate, though, you should be doing stuff like that. You should show an interest in people. If you're not interested in people, there are other ways to build the business. But if you're interested in people, that's probably something you ought to be doing, right? So if you're capable of talking to people and you don't, that goes back to that lesson. It's not what you're capable of. It's what you do. Are you out there networking and meeting with people? So today is a mastermind. So the mastermind is a little bit different than some of the classes we typically have. I want to do a class on reverse mortgages. Anybody done a reverse mortgage class? Have you done one, Gina?
Yeah.
Have you done one, Dan? So they're really actually pretty cool. I'm learning more about them all the time. But so Curtis right down the hall, he's like the #1 guy in the country. Do you guys know this? #1 in America at reverse mortgages. And he's 30 feet down that way right here.
Curtis Mangum?
Yeah, you know Curtis? Yeah.
I took a reverse mortgage.
Oh, did you take one from him?
Probably 3 years ago.
Yeah. So he teaches them all the time. Hey, Melissa.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Come on in. Here's see by Daniel up here.
I got stuck on the
He's a character too, Curtis. He's a total character. He's hilarious. I love Curtis. So he's been teaching for a long time, but he wants to teach a class. Like, Rick, I'll do it. I said, I want to learn it myself. So we need to. I'll send an email out to everybody. But whoever wants to do like a reverse mortgage class, we'll have Curtis come in and teach one again because I want to learn more about him too. What's that?
I took his class twice.
Yeah, he's good. He's really funny. So a couple of things I want to show you today is a couple things on how to use data that's free and using AI. If you guys have Whoosy, if you don't have Whoosy, if you have ChatGPT or something, I want to kind of show you a couple things. And then I want to go on the board and talk about stuff we talked about last time. And then anything you guys want to discuss is fair game. That's what a mastermind's for, right? I mean, what do you want to talk about? So before we get into the fair game stuff, let me show you this. Realtor.com. Y'all know how to go to Realtor.com, I'm assuming. You go to Realtor.com. Look at this little tab right here, News and Insights. Okay, this is really kind of cool. Go down here to Research. Some people like stats. They don't know where to get them. You can use RPR. You guys use, what do you guys use to get your statistics from MLS? RPR. Is that what you use, Daniel? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things you could use, but research is good right here. This is Realtor.com. So let's click on this research panel. This takes you to this page. There's a ton of really cool stuff in here. There's articles, there's data visualizations, which would be like your infographics. I mean, there's just a ton of information on here. But my favorite thing is the data library. I click on the data library. This is really cool. Why? Well, you go down here to data. This is every single month this comes out. We've already got stats for January, for the first 2 weeks of January in here. I don't care about the national stuff. I care about local stuff. National statistics don't mean anything, by the way. You know, we all know the housing market was down last year, and it was one of the lowest years. It was the lowest year in 39 years for total sales of homes. Okay? But I know agents in this company that had their best year ever. So do national stats matter? No. Local stats matter. Well, state, that's too big for me. I don't do the state stuff. Metro, you could do Boise Metro. I don't do that either, though. Ada County, Canyon County, you could do that. I don't do that either. I do zip codes. I like to download the zip code data. This is every month. Now, this is current month data. Historical data, these are big files, just so you know. This is like for 10 years. I think I showed you this, Andrew, didn't I? Did I show you this?
I was actually trying to find it.
Oh, did you?
I went under like buyers. I went under all these tabs, but here it was. Here it is.
You know where it is now, right?
Yeah.
So you go to Realtor.com. We start here. News and Insights. That's the key. Maybe you missed right there. Is that one piece? Then you go down to Research. Then you go to Data Library. So then I would download the current month zip. So download your zip code data, right? Boom, download that. There you go. Then what do you do with it? These are big files. There's every zip code in America. You're not going to sit there and look at it. What are you going to do with this file to actually get some useful information out of it? Well, you go to ChatGPT or you go to Whoosy. So I did this in SparkPad. So in SparkPad in Whoosy, right, we have our dashboard. If I can click on my pad here. SparkPad is right here, Canvas is right here. So if you guys are members of Whoosy, if you're not, you need to be, because Whoosy is amazing, and you can add files. What file do you want to add? Well, I want to add, how about that one? Right. If I can click on this, I gotta have my glasses. I gotta have my glasses. I don't have my glasses on, guys. You're killing me. Hey, Brent, how are you? Good morning. Come on in. So let me show you one that I did. So I don't have to waste too much time going on the internet.
I think it was the checkbox right next to it.
Was it? Well, here it is. I got it here anyway. So here's the file. It gives you a little summary. I said, hey, find these two zip codes, because this is Meridian, 83646 and 642. So North Meridian, South Meridian. So it does. It gives me some cool numbers. Now, there's a lot of ways you can use data like this. You could use this for social media posts. You could use it for emails to your database. You could just use it for knowledge. That'd be a good thing, just to know this stuff. So when you talk to people, right? When you're talking to people and they go, hey, how's the market going in real estate? What's going on in real estate right now? Like, oh. Instead of the typical realtor line, it's great. It's like, let's actually talk about statistics. Well, North Meridian's up 4.5%, 4.3 actually, over this time last year. South Meridian's up 5%. South Meridian's growing even faster. Days on market is shortened by 15%. We're at 46 days on the market. So you can use it for stats like this. So then I said, okay, compare both these zip codes this year versus last year. So you can see it compares them year over year. Tells you what's going on. I said, okay, what are the most undervalued zip codes? So this was one I did. I asked it for undervalued zip codes and different kinds of things. I did the same file. I created some infographics for you. This was kind of a fun one. Where is it? This one I created some infographics in here because you could use infographics in your social media in whatever you want. So it goes, okay, here's your comparing this year versus last year. And it says, okay, would you like a quick market update? Sure. So you could send this out as an email if you want. This does an email format. You could modify this however you want it, but you could create an email for your database, right? You could create a social media post. You want to do that? I said, yeah, sure. Create a social media post. It does that. Then how about generating infographics for your social media? You could use this one right here or this one right here. It just generates them right here inside the AI. People are always saying, well, how do you generate infographics? Just do it right here. Just tell Whoosy to generate it, and there it does for you. So I think that's really useful stuff. Then you say, okay, craft me a social media post with these images, and then give me like a script for a video. This is the one Zeke likes, because Zeke likes doing videos. So I was like, okay, here's a 1-minute script on a video you could do. You know, and here's the kind of the takeaway is there's a lot of people out there that think the market's going to crash, and they're waiting for it to crash. Well, if you waited since last January, you already cost yourself about $30,000. Seriously, that's what they cost themselves, because the average price went from $560 to $589. That's the literal example. And days on market went from 55 to 46. So they're selling faster for more money. So what are you waiting for, Andrew?
What was the interest rate difference?
The interest, that's a good question. I don't know. Maybe we should ask it that. This data won't have it probably. This just has, we could ask it and it'll search the internet for it, but from that file, it's probably not on that file. But what was the interest rates this time last year? I'm assuming it was higher than it is right now.
I'm wondering if that's part of the reason for that 30 grand difference? Part of the reason?
Part of the reason is the prices went up. Well, prices went up $30,000.
Right, but maybe the interest rate was higher, so the affordability was still the same.
Could be.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, typically when rates go down, prices go up, right? Because when rates go down, demand goes up, that kicks prices up. So I really don't think the market is going to crash here in Boise, Idaho.
Rick,
We're already hit the bottom. We're going to go nowhere but up now.
have you had any questions about the Compass acquisition at all?
Not me personally, but I see them online all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, Compass has bought Realogy, right? So they bought Coldwell Banker and Windermere and all the big companies, Prudential.
Yeah, I had
They're all under
questions
one.
about that, and I wasn't exactly sure how to handle it or how
Like, what do they think is going to happen to the market? What's going to happen to the real estate industry?
Because of that, and I'm like, I didn't think in those terms, so I didn't have an answer ready. I personally don't think it's going to affect much, but
So why wouldn't you go like,
2 weeks ago on Friday. Yeah. So. and I
hey,
haven't-
Whoosy, what's your opinion on the Compass acquisition of Realogy and how that's going to affect the real estate market and buyers and sellers in the future? This is what I do is ask Whoosy, by the way. Whoosy's my assistant for everything. So I want to use AI not just to complete tasks, but to be a thinking partner for me. What do you think about this? What should I be thinking about this? Like, what do you think I should be preparing for? People might ask me about, something like this. All right, let's see what it says right here. Acquisition of Anywhere seismic shift effectively creates a residential real estate powerhouse by combining Anywhere's massive C21 Cold Banker and Sotheby's with Compass's high-end technology to market impact. Market consolidation, yes, that's true. We will likely see a push toward platform-based real estate where technology stack determines agent success as much as their personal network does. Yeah, that's where we're going. I believe this is true. I think in the future, your ability to use AI specifically, your ability to, that's why I'm showing you to go to therealtor.com, get statistics, how to interpret it, how to use that stuff. Your ability to do that kind of stuff is going to be really important. The people that just have a lot of friends and sell a lot of real estate, that'll always be a thing, but it's going to get smaller and smaller as this gets better and better, because they're taking most of the clients. People that are good at technology are capturing most of the clients. So, by the way, if you have a sphere, you have a database, now's the time to put your arms around them. Make sure they know who you are. Make sure they know what you do, right? Don't let some other competitor take them, because they will if you don't have your arms around your database.
Do you agree with that for the most part, Rick?
What's that?
Because to me, it's saying that you're going to have more strength if you go with these companies because they're bigger.
Yeah, I don't believe that. I think
I don't necessarily
no,
believe
they're slanting it because of course that's how Compass wants to slant it.
Sure.
They want you to come to them. It's not the companies that offer stuff. That's the thing, guys. Everybody's going to have everything.
Right.
Everybody already has ChatGPT.
Right.
Everybody already has access to Whoosy and Perplexity and Grok and Gemini. It's like that doesn't matter anymore. It's how you use it. So if you're at a company that has all that stuff, I don't care. Do you use it? Again, that's that potential versus what you do. So yes, I believe the real estate world is going to get more and more specialized in the coming months and years. You're going to have a specialty. If we're going to talk about niches today a little bit, because you better have a specialty because people that are good at that and then use technology to market themselves through their niche, they're going to win. But you don't have to be at a company that has that kind of stuff. Everybody can have all that stuff. Yeah,
I
Andrew.
think that Compass is doing this so they can capitalize on their we put listings out to our brokerage only.
Yes.
That's why they did this.
Yeah.
Probably,
They're going to try and be exclusive.
So it's pretty much going to be them versus Zillow.
Yeah, it's going to try and be exclusivity. Zillow's going to have their, Zillow eventually is going to be a brokerage. I don't have any doubts
They're gonna
in my
have a
mind.
monopoly.
Yeah. And then Compass is going to have, so then who controls the listings? That's what they're fighting over. Who's controlling these listings?
Oh, yeah.
So
I did not believe they bought all those
Oh,
companies.
yeah.
I did not know
It was
that.
Well, Zillow lost a ton of money, right? So you realize they really screwed up during COVID. I had a client. So one of my agents that I work with here locally had a client that was going to sell their house. And it was, I can't remember the exact numbers, but I'm thinking it was like 350 was the price we kind of came up with. It's probably what they're going to list at 350, okay? Zillow came in and literally offered them 375 for their house, which was not, it didn't make any sense. It's like, and I told him, I said, you should take that. I would take it. I mean, are you kidding me? This is above market value. So they took it. Well, that almost killed Zillow, right? They lost billions of dollars in 2023 by making stupid decisions like that because their valuation software is terrible. Any one of us could tell you that, right? We know Zillow, the Zestimate, is not accurate. It can be, depends on the time of where it times it, where it is in the market, but they've overbought a lot of houses and they lost like $1 billion in 1 year by doing that. So yes, they have a lot of power and money and all those kind of things, but they don't make great decisions. I'm not really worried about Zillow being a brokerage. I'm not worried about Compass being a brokerage either. I think they have failing models. They're going to get a lot of the agents. Good for them, but technology is available to all of us, so we're going to be able to use technology and be really successful however we want to do it.
Okay.
You don't need to do that. Daniel.
you were saying that the systems are there.
Yeah.
They're available for anyone to use.
That's right.
I think the problem with most realtors is, and it's where I struggled with for most of the time, is you don't know the systems that are available to begin with, so you don't know how to use them. Yes, they're there, and yes, ChatGPT and Whoosy is here, but if you don't know how to use it, you're kind of spinning your wheels in those places too.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that.
Best thing to do is just start using it like Google instead, and that's how you get associated
Yep.
with it.
Start learning it. So what does it say about buyers? Buyers experience likely become more streamlined, having single technology platform, manage the workflow, more single technology. Are you currently affiliated with anywhere branded companies like your Okay, so I would keep asking it. By the way, if I was in here, I would click Spark mode. I would say, what are some potential cultural changes Compass might face? Can you provide Compass comments on acquisition?
I've also heard they structure their commission completely different. I don't know that that's true. I heard they have more employees. Like if a realtor goes there, instead of being an independent contractor, like you could say, okay, I want to make 200, 300,000 this year, whatever, but you're an employee. So it's more like a team thing, so you pay them back.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that before.
Yeah.
So the CEO can just have a lot of money. I think.
Exactly.
I'm not sure. That's what I've been told.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's 100% accurate.
I think models like that are in trouble. I think
can
I
work
think
in
all
some
the old
ways.
models
They
like that
can
are in
work.
trouble. I think the future of real estate is going to be, this is called a teamerage, for example. Like Sweet Group is a teamerage. So there's brokerages, there's teamerages, and there's a lot of different styles. Like Silver Creek has 2,600 agents. Keller Williams has 1,000 agents. Those are big brokerages. The problem with brokerages is they offer all these tools to people that nobody uses or nobody knows how to use. Teamerages are much smaller and they operate like a team. They have, culture as well, but that's, it's smaller silos that are very able to adapt quickly to technology and use this stuff that are going to win. I mean, to me, the Coldwell Bankers and Windemere's and those kinds of models are really expensive, and then most people don't use what they offer anyway. So why if you're embedded in their culture, I get it. But if you're a new agent just joining, I don't know why you would go to a brand like that.
How deep have you, how complex of systems have you built with this?
With Whoosy?
Yeah.
Well, me personally, not super complex stuff. I use it all the time, but our development team has built some really cool stuff for big companies.
With Whoosy?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we did a thing in Las Vegas in December. One of the heads of Fidelity Title, that was a good friend of ours who uses Whoosy all the time, did a 1-hour presentation in front of the whole audience using Canvas, which I love, right? It's one of our things that we use in Whoosy all the time, to build out a board. And he built this whole board out and did all kinds of different things. And the people that were watching this were like, where did you learn to do all this kind of stuff? And he's like, oh, Whoosy. And the CEO, the guy that owns the Las Vegas Knights and the multi-billionaire guy was there. So we've done 2 Zoom calls with him. We built a bunch of stuff for him. But you can build really cool boards with Whoosy. There's a ton of stuff you can do. And I'm going to start teaching on February 3rd. I'm not going to take much of this class to talk about this, but February 3rd, Tuesday, the first Tuesday of the month, every month, I'm going to do just an AI class specifically. Right here at 11 o'clock. And it's going to be sponsored by Premier Mortgage upstairs. So they'll bring food. It'll be like a lunch and learn. The first Tuesday of every month. So you guys are welcome to come to that too. But back to this Realtor.com thing. I just want to make sure you guys know how to do this. I want to get to, you go to Realtor.com, right? You go to News and Insights. You go to Research. And you go to Data Library. Then you download, what I like downloading is the zip code, monthly data on the zip code, and pick your zip code. So I did one on the SparkPad with Eagle. I just started this morning. I was like, I was going to say about what's going on in Eagle, just out of curiosity. So, niches, Eagle zip code. I did this one this morning. So I downloaded the file, same thing. It found it. I said, okay, tell me about 83616. So this is Eagle. So I just started this, but then you can go whatever direction you want. Like, oh, here's some suggestions of things you could talk about. So summarize key findings in January, search for recent developments or projects impacting this, compare Eagle real estate trends with neighboring area, other zip codes in the Treasure Valley. If you don't like any of those, you can keep clicking for more suggestions. Or you can just ask it whatever you want to ask it. And again, with Whoosy, I'm just using the Whoosy model right here, which is real estate trained. We have a Whoosy thinking model, we have ChatGPT, we have Gemini, and we have Claude Sonnet as well. You can use any of these models at any time. You can always change and ask different stuff. So to me, I like using this for research and just knowledge. Yeah.
Can you create like a, you can do like a custom GPT kind of thing, so you give directions. Can you create a custom one? You know what I'm saying? Where you kind of give it its persona and direction and everything?
In Canvas, that's what we have personas for in Canvas. So if I'm in Canvas, a mini GPT is just a persona. So what do you want it to do? I have already a bunch of personas that I could choose from. These are ones I've created already. They're usable in any one of your boards, but I can just create a new persona right here. Well, what do you want it to be? So how about just create a new persona? You're a research and statistics. Okay, I got to put my glasses on. Sorry about that. Expert in residential real estate. I'm just going to type one sentence, just so you can see what it's going to do. Now, I can add stuff to it. I can add the RPR data. I can go to the MLS. I could go to that Realtor.com website and add all the data right here, right, to the persona. So now it knows all the data. Instead of having to search the internet, I can just add it right here as an asset. Or I can just create the persona and watch it. It's going to give me, I give it one sentence. It takes about 20 or 30 seconds, and it's got this whole mini GPT. So you can create as many mini GPTs as you want right here.
So cool.
Yeah.
And what does this cost you a month?
What's that?
What does it cost a month?
So Whoosy right now is $300 for your first year, for the year, $300 for the year. Then it's $99 a month. But I told this to Andrew the other day. We're actually meeting on it some more this week. By the time, probably by second quarter this year, we're going to have different plans where you can have, like if you just want Canvas, you pay, $20 a month or whatever. If you just want SparkPad, you pay this. If you want the CRM built in, it's like we're going to have more of a menu style pricing. Right now, it's everything.
All the things loaded to it, like ChatGPT 5.6.
It's all in there. It's all in there already. Yep. ChatGPT's in here. Gemini 3 Pro, Claude Sonnet 4.5. These are all built into Whoosy. So it's $300 for your first year. Yeah.
Can I go? I just need it.
What's that?
Can I take a call in the middle of this?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a mastermind. I'm not a strict teacher. So I just built this persona. See this persona? Like, hey, a crisp, analytical, plain-spoken, evidence-led, focused on clarity and actionability. Brief executive summary highlighting 3 to 5 key takeaways. So this is influencing anything I ask it. This mini GPT is influencing how the answer is going to happen. Does that make sense? I could like create any personas I want. Like I have a health and fitness coach persona. I have all these different personas, but I can add, information to them. I can add assets to the persona. I can talk about, I can add books to the conversation I'm going to have. It's like, well, what book do I want to add? Well, I want The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. That's a good book. We've got 40 million books. So if it's on Google, we have it. We have access to 40 million books. Now that book is influencing this chat. So anything you want to bring to the board is now influencing what you're talking about. Or that's the only thing you're talking about. I only want to talk to this book. I don't want to talk to the internet. I don't want to get the general crap that ChatGPT gives me. I want to know what the Millionaire Real Estate Agent says. I'm using this persona. Help me build a team and give me my first steps on how I'm going to hire somebody. What's the disc profile of someone I would hire? Like, just start getting into it and let it use this only as your source. That's really cool to be able to choose your source, right? You could choose, any book you want. You can have 50 books on here. You could have videos on here. You can have websites on here. You can create stuff. So yeah, Whoosy's really cool. But the point is there's all this cool stuff you can do. Now what are you going to do, Daniel, right? Just like anything else. So that's why I'm not worried about Compass. I'm not worried about Zillow. Yeah, they're going to get a lot of agents and a lot of market share and stuff, but the teamerages are going to win at the end of the day because they're going to be the ones that actually do stuff. Obviously, 70% of agents don't do anything, right?
And I think that's
we
the
saw
difference
that.
they're going to get. 'Cause they're going to be more like employees.
Of course. So you guys saw this, right? I put this up here. I put this on our Slack channel.
Why would you? Why would you limit your?
So this is the numbers from last year.
Get handed this.
So we had 923,000 agents sold nothing.
I know, that's crazy. That is just crazy.
So if you add these together, you're at 86% of agents sold 4 or less houses. 86% of all agents sold
like
4 or less.
Pareto distribution.
Yeah. 93% of agents sold less than 9 houses last year. 93%.
I feel like a lot of those, though, at 71%, they just got the real estate license just for friends and family.
Sure.
Literally just don't.
There's a lot of those. I have a real estate license. I haven't sold a house in 10 years. So I'm one of these. There's a lot of people that have a license that don't
Oh, yeah.
want to sell anything necessarily. But again, if you look at how many agents are selling stuff, Chris, if we pick on you for a minute, you're in the top 0.8% of agents. That's pretty cool. Less than 1%. So again, NAR is going to shrink. It shrunk a lot this year. We lost 300,000 members this last year. We'll lose another probably 200,000 this year, I would guess. But that million mark is kind of what's sustainable. But it should be even less than that. But that's kind of where it's been for 40 years. But these numbers, you can find where you're at on this board. It's like, okay, number of deals per agent. I don't know why they only go up to 300 because there's agents that sold more than that. But you're obviously in a very rarefied air. So then you got to think about, okay, how am I going to sell houses then? How am I going to do this? Right? Let's get out of this board. So what else? What other kind of things do you want to talk about? I want to talk about niches for a minute. So let me show you this. I taught a class on the top 35 niches in real estate. And I've been building this out. So this was actually an article I downloaded, the top 35 best niches in real estate from The Close. I've told some of you guys about The Close. You guys know about the KCM blog, Keeping Current Matters. The KCM blog is a good blog you should be reading on real estate. The Close is another one. It's called The Close. That's what it's called. So they had this PDF on the best 35 niches. I said, great. So I downloaded it. I said, what are they? So it says what they are. Single family. So by the way, when you talk about niche, one of the common niches in real estate is first-time home buyers. That's not a great niche right now because I don't know if you guys know this. Last year, 2025, was the lowest number of sales to first-time home buyers on record ever. Why is that, Daniel?
Because they can't afford it.
Affordability. So what do you call a first-time home buyer these days? This is Curtis Mangus taught me this. What do you call a first-time home buyer these days? I was like, what? Renter. A renter. It's like, yeah, you're right.
Well, do you think,
Call it a missed opportunity.
do you
Yeah.
think new construction, I know I had
Helps.
a couple conversations with people because they were advertising all this stuff they can help you with on the financing. I'm like, they're not advertising anything I can't help you with.
Right.
So that was a conversation too.
Yeah, new construction helps, and especially CBH, some of the big builders around here, they're doing really big incentives. What have you guys seen? What 30,000? What is the highest numbers you guys have seen?
Well, it just depends on the purchase price. It could be upwards of 50.
50,000 in incentives from a builder.
In Dry Creek Ranch, they're doing 30 plus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there for a while, it was based off purchase price. So if you were at the 500s, you were getting upwards of like 50 grand.
So that's going to help. So new construction could be a good niche, right? I had a new construction niche. So when I moved to Boise, I wanted to be a new construction guy. So I joined the Builders Association. I went to the golf tournament. I went to their dinners and banquets. I actually sponsored a hole at the golf tournament up in Shadow Valley. I gave away a Nexus 9, if you guys remember this, it was like 10 years ago, but it's like one of the early tablets everybody liked. It was a Google Nexus. I gave away one of those, like $500. Gave away as a drawing, met a ton of builders. I ended up landing Dan Clark. I was Dan Clark's builder rep for almost 2 years. So Riverwalk in Eagle, I've told you some of you guys about Riverwalk, which is Linder and State Street. I sold the first 4 houses in there. I mean, because I had Dan Clark. Well, how do you get a builder? Well, join the Builder Association. Number one, start networking with builders. Start adding value to them. Start meeting them. What's the value I added to Dan Clark? Well, in that real case, he hated talking to people. My dad's a builder, so I can relate. Builders don't like talking to people. They don't like talking to customers and answering questions and getting interrupted constantly. So the thing was, what I actually closed him with was, take your numbers off of everything. Why is your phone number even out there? You hate talking to people. Put my phone number on there. Let's put my phone number on everything. I'll handle all the customer requests and all the stupid change requests and all the can we do this and can we? I'll do all that. All you have to do is build the house. And he's like, okay. So we'll try it out. We tried it out. And we ended up doing it for almost 2 years. That works. So you got to figure out what's the value I can actually offer these people. So I'll show you this because I kind of built this out. But these are the top 35 niches according to that article. So types of property, that's some of the niches. Types of people, right? Types of, location of property. What's their profession? What do they do for people? Long-term rentals, student rentals. Anybody sold any houses down by Boise State? That'd be a good niche, right? To have a real estate business. Because a lot of people buy houses for their kids and their friends, and then they sell them when they graduate 4 or 5 years later. That happens. I know people that do that. Part of town, there's also, demographic niches, which is like literally your profession. Like I want doctors, I want attorneys, I want teachers, I want, whatever. So I come up with a profession. So, I said, okay, Boise's my market. I started building some of this kind of stuff out. But I want to get down here a little bit farther to where I asked it. Senior citizens. So this is a good niche to go after. So we were talking about this. If first-time home buyers is at the lowest it's ever been, what's higher than it's ever been? Senior citizens. You guys realize 52% of all sales last year were to boomers. 62 and older. 52% of all sales. That's like a huge deal. So who has that? I'm Melissa. I know you got your SRES. Anybody else have their senior residential specialist designation?
I'm gonna get it. I don't have it.
Don't have it yet? Okay.
I was talking to Jaylene about it because my experience working at the senior center.
That's right.
And
It's
all the
52%.
connections I've already made through that. And
52%. The silver tsunami.
And then you can partner up with people I'm already partners with, like at the old folks' home.
Yeah.
Because
So think about that as a
people are
niche, right?
taking their parents in, then she can refer out.
We have a lot of, so this is one of the reasons I want Curtis to come teach his class again on reverse mortgages. Because I think there's a lot of people that could benefit from that. Because the number one reason senior citizens move, what do you think the number one reason is?
Retirement?
They've retired already, but why do you think they move? Why do they sell a house?
Downsizing.
Downsizing, moving closer to family. Closer to family is number one. Downsizing is number two. So why don't seniors move or sell their house? Because they don't think they can. A lot of people don't understand the math. They don't understand equity. They don't understand how a reverse mortgage could work, for example. So that could be a really cool niche, is to help people understand, here's what you could do. They didn't even know that they could do this.
My grandparents are in a reverse mortgage, and they've been in one like since it began.
Yeah.
You know, long ago.
Yeah.
And recently they've come into some money, so they want to pay it off.
Good.
And then the house will be free and clear for my mom and my aunt when they pass away. I mean, they're
Love it.
93 and 90, so they,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, this could be a really cool niche, right? It says, okay, so what are some niches? I asked about, okay, what can you actually do? Where's my question here? I like to ask AI. Okay, what are the top steps to take to develop any niche? Going from a concept to an actual action plan to integrate a niche into a daily routine. Okay, so it says, here's some things you should probably do. So validate. So I used to do this when I did farming. So I would farm, I typically wanted 1,000 homes. And I would have title, it talks about title companies here in a second. Like, how do you get all these stats, Rick? Title companies are your friends. Title companies can give you any stats you want. So I said, hey, I want, because they can do a grid search. I want a neighborhood that has 1,000 homes, that has, I can give you all my numbers on it because I have a whole detailed class that I used to look for my farms. But I want at least like a 40% turnover. And I want at least, well, I can't remember the numbers now. I think it was 30 or 40% owner occupied, so they have equity, like a certain amount of renters. Yeah, you can find all those stats from the title company.
And sometimes those
No
title
problem.
companies will give you like logins and stuff, and you can just go in.
You can do it yourself, yeah.
You don't have to.
Or but if you get a good title rep, which I always had a good title rep, they would just get me the data.
Yeah, exactly.
Who do you usually go through?
Depends on who you like.
Depends on who you like. Back in the day, I used Lainey Ogata with Title One. She's now the regional manager, so I don't know who their runners are, but these are like runners. So
Well, I really
ask
like-
agents.
I really like mine, but I found that the like Title One, like when you pull up the title package, I feel like that one's a little bit better than Pioneer Title. Although that was just my preference. Although I really like my escrow office at Pioneer. So I'm like, which one do I use for certain things?
And I use Alliance and
The one that takes you out to
Fidelity,
lunch most.
The what?
The one that takes you out to lunch.
Yeah.
Well, no. It's more so which one do I use for the information? Because I'm gonna
Whichever one you like.
escrow office.
So I used to send out to First American, Title One, Alliance, and Stewart. I ended up going with Alliance and Title One for all my stuff, and I would BCC them if I needed a trio or all the listing docs on a property because a listing presentation come up. I would send them all at the same time. Title One always won. The guy's name is Matt Saba. He's now not the runner anymore. He's also a manager for them. He's gone up in the company, but they're still, all the people I used to use 10, 12 years ago are still there, but they have bigger, higher up positions because they did such a great job. But title companies are a great resource for data and information. Agents don't use them. They want you to use them, and agents don't use them enough. But I used Alliance. Sheila was my closer, and then I also use her for information, but Title One was my favorite for a long time. Sheila Jameson was my
Some of those good
Alliance title.
classes on how to access those was good.
Like you want a post. I used my postcard mailers. I used Alliance Title because you go to Alliance, they have a postcard thing right in there. You can just put your CSV file, design the cards, and then they send it to the mail house and do it all for you. So I use Alliance for my postcards. But title companies are a great resource. But so validate the math. Like, okay, before you commit time, money, and energy, is this niche going to work in Boise, Idaho? That's probably a good thing. Don't skip this. So spend 3 hours this week pulling 12 months of data for your chosen niche. So what niche are you going to do? What's the turnover rate, the number of homes in the niche that actually sold, divided by the homes in that niche? So if it's below 4%, it's probably too small. So like, okay, well, how do you get these lists? We'll talk about that in a second. A niche is not a vibe or a feeling. It's an actual list of names, numbers, and addresses. You can't market to a concept. You must actually own the data. If you want to have a niche, you have to frickin' get the addresses from a title company. That's what I would recommend. You can also use Vulcan 7, Red X. I used to use those a lot. Forewarn, it's another good, if you guys ever use Forewarn for finding information. It's a great software program.
PropStream.
What do you use? PropStream?
PropStream.
Okay, PropStream. Then the signatures, why should they call you instead of the agent they used 5 years ago? You've got to have a signature solution, your competitive advantage. Like, okay, how do you figure out what your CA, your competitive advantage is in your niche? Like, why should somebody use you? Just because you decide you're going to start selling to seniors. What do you know about seniors? Why should they use you? Well, write down the 3 biggest headaches your clients face. Maybe it's where do I want to put 40 years of furniture, right? It's like whatever. Come up with what those things are and then figure out the solutions, and then that's the content you put out on social media. That's the kind of stuff you post about every day on social media. every day, guys, you should be posting on social media in your niche, so people start going, oh, you know what? I know her. She's that person. They start relating you to your niche. Gina, what was your question?
Well, you just made something pop up in my head, but if you're really marketing seniors, how is social media going to help? Because most of them are on social media.
Right.
So,
But you have parents or grandparents.
so are you?
My parents are on Facebook. They're not on TikTok or things like that. But
Okay,
so you got to kind of pick.
Are you just saying in general?
In general,
people.
it may be social media, it may not. Maybe
Well,
it's
it might not even be seniors, right?
well, like I coached. I think I've told a lot of you guys here. I used to coach Austin Callison, who is probably the biggest land guy around. He sells farms and ranches.
Right.
Well, he's not on social media. He's in the agricultural magazines. He goes to auctions.
Okay.
He goes to the local grain and cooks breakfast for people. It's like he's where they are, because your 90-year-old that owns a 8,000-acre ranch isn't sitting there on TikTok. I mean, I promise you.
They might be in the senior center though.
They might be at the senior center.
I found that my like older connections on Facebook are more responsive than my, frisbee community, soccer community. I found that on Facebook. Instagram is totally different, but yeah, the older crowd on Facebook.
Well, I've recommended this book, but I'll recommend it again. You guys, if you haven't read it, it's only like 140 pages. It's called Uncopyable by Steve Sims. It's a marketing book. It talks about who's your target audience. If you don't have that avatar, if you don't know who you're going after, in other words, your niche, then you haven't even started. Everything else is just spray and pray, right? It's like you're not aiming at a target. You got to know who your avatar is. Then you got to know what's their problem. So what's the message going to be that's going to resonate with them? Like, what issue are they trying to solve? If you can figure out what their problem is and show them how to solve it with your message, then you've got a big head start. So who's your market? What's the message? What's the media? There's 4 M's, by the way, to this triangle, or this diamond. The market, the message, the media. Are they on social media? Which one? Are they not on social media? Well, then how do you get to them? Do they go to classes? Do they see billboards? If you drive out in the country in the middle of nowhere, billboards can work. In town, billboards probably don't work very well. But out in the country, I know a lot of agents that use billboards successfully in rural areas. So like, what's the media to get in front of your market? Your market, your message, your media, and the last one is the moment. Like, when do these people need help? When should you be like more in tune to what's going on with them? But that little book, Uncopyable, is really good. You guys should read it. But you need to have what your value is. What is your value proposition? Why should they use you versus somebody else? Then it says, this is where most agents fail. Treat a niche like a side project. They treat it like a side project. To integrate it in their daily routine, you must dedicate 90 minutes of your workday to your niche. So block out time on your calendar to do those 3 things. Call or email 10 people, contact 1 influencer in that niche, create 1 piece of content. So like, working in your niche should be something that you do. And if you pick a niche that's your life, I always the example of Trina Brown, because Trina's a horse lady and she does horse stuff and her girls are all on horse property stuff. My kids have ridden their horses. They have horses. They have an arena. They go to rodeos. They barrel race. And this is like their life. So she's doing horse stuff all the time. So she lives in her niche, but then she needs to make sure she gets that out there so people know that. Like, yes, she has all kinds of pictures of her girls barrel racing, but she needs to like talk about daily life on the ranch. Or did you realize we got this particular, bridle instead of this one, and here's why. And then we got this type of an arena versus this type, and here's why. But if you're educating people constantly in your niche, that's going to position yourself as the expert. Most people don't do that. They just post a little bit of stuff here and there, maybe a client testimonial, maybe a listing, and it's very inconsistent, and then they wonder why they don't get leads on social media.
Well, and AI will give you a whole layout, like for the week. You can say, give me a week's worth of social media posts or ideas for,
Absolutely.
1-minute videos or whatever.
And it'll help you literally build them all out. Yeah, there's no excuse. Again, everybody has access to all this stuff. It's who's going to actually do it.
Well, and you can record them all in one day, too. You don't have to do it every
Yeah,
day.
record them all at once. Then you can just keep them in the
Send
can.
out, yeah.
So how do I get access to potential clients within my target niche? So PropStream, is that what you were talking about?
PropStream, yeah.
PropStream, there you go.
Yeah, there you
So PropStream, that service, reminds in your MLS. I used to use RedX and Vulcan 7. I think it talks about those in here somewhere. Oh, there you go. Vulcan 7 and RedX. Like, if you want to get a phone number of a for sale by owner of, like, so I have an agent I coach. Her niche is vacant lots. So 1 acre lots or bigger in the Treasure Valley that have nothing on them, that are vacant. So you can use Vulcan 7 and get a list of every single property that's over an acre in the Treasure Valley. Here's the owner's address and phone number. and then market to them. What are you doing with this lot? Would you like to sell this lot? Would you like to build this lot? I have access to builders. That's her niche, is owners of property that are vacant. And she does a lot of business. That's a good niche. But you've got to find, how are you going to get these lists somehow, right? You got to figure that out. And AI can help you figure that out. These cost money. Obviously, Vulcan 7, Red X costs money. Remine is with the MLS. I don't know about PropStream or batch service. Does PropStream cost money, Daniel?
100 a month.
100 a month? What kind of stuff do you do with it?
You can do anything you can do with a title company, just do it yourself.
Okay.
So all the same things that, anything that's public data, right? So it'll give you, the nice thing I like about PropStream is that after you've built your list and say you send out your postcard to it, someone responds back to it, maybe they don't respond with a lot,
Right.
you can skip trace those people and get their actual information, and it's just for like a few pennies to get that information.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love that.
What is PropStream?
It does, it's a service that you can go in and put in all your filter requirements, just like you would say to your title person, right? Like what he's talking about, I want a neighborhood that's got this many people in it, so much equity. I'm looking for the people who are not living in the house, so absent, maybe they're investors, something like that, right?
Yeah.
And then it'll create that list for you. It'll actually send them a postcard and create a landing page for you. And so then if they get
Scan
your
the
card,
barcode.
scan it, whatever they do
Send
with
them
it.
a postcard.
Yeah, I mean that's
Wow.
that's not, so the 100 is for the service, and then you pay
Pay extra for the
postcards
postcard.
and
Oh,
the skip
okay.
tracing and stuff.
Fair, yeah.
But it's still worth it.
Yeah, totally.
There's another company called SmartZip that does stuff like that too. So SmartZip, like if I live in a neighborhood of 1,000 people, I'll download my CSV file to SmartZip. It will then say, okay, these 247 houses are the most likely to sell next, based on our algorithms, based on how long they've been there, how much equity they have, the age of the people or whatever. Don't market to 1,000, market to these 247, which is a lot cheaper,
Oh, yeah.
right? It's a quarter of the cost. So I love those kind of things. If I'm starting off on this kind of stuff, I would get a good title rep and have them help me. At some point, if you want to do, I would get something like PropStream. I think that'd be great. I use Vulcan 7 and Red X. But you've got to have the lists to market to. And if you don't have a list, there's a couple ways to do this. If you don't have any money at all, you say, well, then I don't have any money to buy these things, Rick. Well, then go onto social media and start creating your list. Like go onto social media and post about stuff and then have landing pages where people can go to find out more. Or here's the top 5 things you can think about when buying an equestrian property. Go here, DM me. And start building your own list. Agents don't think that way enough, in my opinion, strategically. Like if you are a music artist or an author, I've told you guys all the story about James Clear. I love Atomic Habits. James Clear started with a free blog for 10 years almost. 8 years he had a free blog before he wrote Atomic Habits. 6 years. So he started in 2012, then he wrote the book in 2018. So 6 years, almost 7 years, he had a free blog. He got up to multi-millions of followers of his free blog. Then he writes a book. Built-in audience, right? Now all of a sudden all these people buy the book because they already like his stuff. That's what music groups do. They play gig after gig after gig after gig after gig in town after town after town after town, and then they have an album come out, and then all of a sudden they sell a bunch of albums. We need to do the same thing as realtors. Just to think that we're going to be nice and put our face out there and people are going to start using us. No, we need to build our list, build our audience. And if you haven't started yet, get MailChimp or get something. Follow Up Boss has a great database. But figure out a way to start putting people in there and communicating with them regularly. To me, 2026 is about getting back to the basics and doing them. Not, I could do this. I have a MailChimp account. I have Follow Up Boss. I could do all this. No, what are you actually doing? How many people are in your Follow Up Boss, and what did they get from you last? And when was it? And how often do you send stuff to them? Let's just get right back to what actually works, the basic stuff. So I love this niche thing. I love having it help me build it. These are, by the way, for real estate investing. You can do niches for anything you want. FSBOs is one of my niches. FSBOs is a great niche. Although right now, FSBOs are the lowest they've been in a long time because it's difficult to sell a house, which, if that's my niche, I love that. I love it when things are difficult because that means everybody else is going to quit. And I'm going to win. I'll win then. If all you guys quit, I win because I'm not going to quit. It's like, Like, right? It's like, remember Jay Leno? So you guys remember when I was a kid, Johnny Carson hosted the Tonight Show. Well, then he retired, and they had a big line in New York of people that were comedians and other people that wanted to host it, and they were auditioning people. And Jay Leno tells us also, because Jay Leno got the job, right? Jay Leno was the next host after Johnny Carson. He talks about this. It's like he waited all day, like 14 hours in this line. And he remembers seeing people ahead of him after a while would just leave and just say, F this. And, and he's like, good. I love it. I just got a better chance. I just move up one spot, right? It's every time somebody quit, he's like, yes. So to me, that's kind of how I look at real estate. That's how I look at life. The harder it is, the better, because I'll have less competition. If it's really hard, I don't have any competition. Everybody else is going to quit. Good. I love it. The more complex, the more difficult it is, the better it is for me. Because I'm ready, I'm saddled up here for the long haul, and most people aren't. And especially today in this world, most people don't have that stick-to-itiveness, that grit. They just, when things are hard, they quit. Okay. I mean, 85% of real estate licensees don't last 2 years. You guys know that, right? 85% don't last 2 years. So do the basic things. There's not a silver bullet of what, if I could tell you this one thing, it'd be just outlast everybody else and do the stuff. Do the stuff you know you can do. Don't overvalue potential. Do what you're supposed to do. That's, one of the things you can do is come up with a niche. Why do you come up with a niche? Because it allows you to have a vehicle for your marketing. Otherwise, you're just marketing you. Well, nobody's looking at, that's why I don't have, so my team, I didn't have my team Rick Gray real estate. Well, who's going to search Rick Gray real estate? Or who, unless other than my friends and my family, nobody knows who I am. Why would I do that? I think, come up with something that people are actually going to search and actually going to look for. So you got to get the ego out of the way and figure out, okay, a niche is something I either have an affinity towards, I like it, I'm interested in it, or it's like a big part of my life. Let me position myself as the expert in that in the real estate world. Now that's how people find me. So my niche is in Portland. I had a fly fishing club. I raced sports cars, so I was a race car driver. So those are how people knew me, and that's where I got most of my clients. Was from my fly fishing club and my racing friends, literally, and then referrals. But it's not like I didn't talk about it. I talked about it all the time. I did a class called Racing in Real Estate. I used to do seminars teaching people mindset comparisons of sports, basically, and real estate, and how there's so many similarities. If you like teaching and public speaking, that's a great niche, because nobody else is going to do that. How many realtors publicly speak and teach classes every month in Boise? Not very many. That's a great niche. There's no competition. People are scared to death. So think about what I want you to do, this assignment from today's Mastermind, though, is think about, what is your niche going to be? I ask that question all the time to agents. What are you known for? And what do you think they say? When I say, what are you known for? Do you know?
Realtor,
Yeah.
Treasure Valley, whoever comes.
Yeah, exactly. I'm everybody's realtor.
Everyone.
I'm everything to everyone.
That's why I wanted a life of peace.
Right? So come up with what is it that you want to be known for, and then make yourself known for that. Talk to people about that stuff. Post it on social media. Send out stuff to your database. Send emails or texts or whatever about that particular topic. Make sure that they know you're into that. We got 5 minutes. That was my little five-minute alarm. Is this stuff helpful? Is this making sense, by the way? You like this stuff? Okay.
So
What else do you want to talk about?
Whatever that system. Have you seen a lot of return from that?
I'm just starting to use it.
PropStream?
I was
PropStream.
sending the title guy a lot of, like he says, finding a niche, right? So you start narrowing that down. So I asked for this funnel of it, and then this funnel of it, and this funnel of it. Pretty soon, my guy started farming me off to his service people, and so it's like, all right, I need to find a better way, because I like to look at the data, and maybe what I looked for didn't fit what I wanted, so I throw that one out and grab another one, and it just got annoying, so I pay for it. And no, this is just the last 2 weeks I've been using it.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you were saw a lot of return from that or not.
Who has a niche in here that you feel good about it, you're known for it, you use it? Anybody? I know you do this
feel
the
about senior
seniors.
situation. However, I just need to get the designation. And at the
You don't need to.
I was
but
always talking about real estate with the people that live out there because they knew me.
Right.
And then that helps get to their kids. It's
Mm-hmm.
just a bigger, and it's a
good
very
niche.
tiny community, so that also helps. And it could
It
get
does.
me into the large property also because
Mm-hmm.
where I live.
Mhm.
So.
There's ranches out there.
Yeah.
Andrew, what about you?
I haven't really started this yet because we talked about it, but I'm kind of focusing on the building business aspect. But Southeast Boise, I'm just kind of thinking next door,
Mhm.
Facebook groups.
Mhm.
Honestly, probably just a ton of open houses around and just having my sign be
Mhm.
familiar and knocking on doors for the open house and stuff. I just feel like the classic old, just get in front of them a lot with face to face if you can.
Yep.
I'm hoping for.
Southeast, I like that. Gina, do you have a niche?
No,
No?
unfortunately.
Are you gonna have one?
I'm thinking about it.
There you
I just
go.
ordered the book Uncopyable
There you go. Good.
on Amazon, so I should
Nice.
have it tomorrow.
Nice. That's a good book. What's your niche, Chris? Like leads that come in.
I've thought about it for years and still don't have one.
But you're good when leads come in.
Yeah. I'm just good at talking to people, but
Sound poison.
I don't market myself. That's
Right.
the
You don't market yourself. You're just good at
so
closing
to
the
have a
leads.
niche and market myself, I just don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, anybody that I talk to,
Well, you ride Harleys. You've met people through that.
oh yeah, I've sold a few houses that way too. But yeah, I just don't like.
West.
I just go out and advertise it, or just kind of just do things, and then when I run into people, I run into people.
So your niche kind of is your hobbies, though. What you like to do.
Yeah.
There's
Mm-hmm.
another really
But I like to do everything though, so
Mhm, me too.
I just take advantage of any opportunity at that point. Like even when I travel,
I live out in Homedale.
like if I travel and let's say we go to California and we're sitting there and like I hear somebody,
Just
the
between
moment I
Wild
hear
Air
real
and
estate,
Marcy
it's
and
terrible. My ear listens just for that, and I'll like wander over and have a conversation.
Right.
You know, they're like, oh yeah, my family lives in Boise or whatever. Like we've thought about moving there. It's just
Right.
always looking for the opportunity.
Yeah.
On 3 acres.
Deontay, do you have a niche?
I'm brand new.
Don't have a niche yet?
Information overload, no.
Okay. Has this been helpful?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Spread.
So the real question is, what do you like to do?
Yeah.
You like to cook? Like to
I-
eat?
That is a good niche.
If you're new to the area, you could always do like new adventures that you're doing too, like market yourself that way. Hey, I'm new to the area too. Let's.
Well, I would love somebody to do a coffee shop niche because so, like every coffee shop, like have a list of all of them and then go there and shoot a video of yourself having whatever you like at that coffee shop, interview the owner, when did they open, how long have they been around, like to me that'd be cool. Like because there's a whole world, everybody likes coffee. It's like having, anyway, I'm just throwing out ideas, but I've got so many ideas, again, potential, but what do you actually do if somebody actually does that? It'd be
It has
cool.
to be something you like. Otherwise, you're not going to be successful
Right.
doing it. By the way.
I would love someone to read all the
Fix
wineries.
it,
I
like,
mean, I got a few that are pretty decent, but
Yeah, Chris
I
does
haven't hit
that.
all of them yet.
I like have all
There's so many.
farm animals.
I don't know how to ask this question,
Okay.
Or
But-
the answer.
if you are building your niche
Mm-hmm.
and marketing,
Mhm.
then what?
Well, there's passive things you can do and active things you can do, right? Remember from this graph, you can prospect and you can network and you can market. This is more passive. These are more active. So you want to get in front of people.
Question that
You want to add
get that
value.
part.
You want to find out what their problems are and add value to those people.
Okay, so let's go extreme on this.
Mm-hmm.
I put up billboards. I put up marketing on Facebook.
Mhm.
Let's say you've covered all the marketing bases. You've got
All the
your
passive
networking
stuff.
Going. Everything is out there, right? People are seeing it. They're like, "Oh, look, there he is."
Mhm.
Then what? The reason I asked then what is because this is the question that I've been asking for the 5 years that I've been in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
What happens to all these people who are now seeing you on all the marketing? They're seeing you out there. They're doing the stuff right. Where do they go? How do they actually get you? Because if you see a billboard, maybe you see the phone number up there. Oh, there it went.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Oh, there's an email.
A QR code with a landing page is probably the best thing. But
Okay, so now you got a landing page. Where does that then go?
Wherever you want to go.
well, ClickFunnels
How many people
or
know this?
Go High Level.
This is the problem that I've had the entire time, right? And these are
Mm-hmm.
the questions that I'm asking the people who are selling me marketing, the people who are selling me prospecting.
It doesn't matter where it goes. It matters if it
matters how you
captures
capture
them.
it. That's what
Does
I'm
it capture
saying.
them and then you reach out? I don't have
But you
business
have to
cards.
capture them.
People say, well, why don't you have business cards, Rick? Because I get people's information. I don't give them, I've given out thousands of business cards in my career. I don't think I've ever got a phone call from my business card, ever. So if I want to talk to you, I'm going to get your information. Jerry, who I met at the restaurant, has McLaren the other night. I got his phone. His name is my phone. We text each other back and forth. I got his information right there. So
This is-
so you
this
want
is
to
the
capture
hustle,
them,
and I
Daniel.
get that.
Yeah.
That works, and I'm not arguing that. If that's the way you want to play it, that's great. But I looked at my stats from like Facebook and stuff last year from your posting,
Mm-hmm.
and you see the number of people who look at your things,
Yeah.
the people who interact, but then you go, oh, I didn't see any of those.
So a couple things on this, so that's why I pulled this back up right here. Number one, is the niche that you're talking about have enough of an issue and have enough problems that it's actually worthwhile doing? Because if a lot of people are seeing you and a lot of people see your ads, they see all your whatever your stuff is, and it's very targeted into some kind of a niche, but nobody's calling you or nobody cares, then they don't have a problem. That's not a good niche. You want to pick a niche where people need help of some sort, and you're the one that's going to help them. So that's where you got to do the math first. Instead of just picking a subdivision, well, what if nobody just, like there's a subdivision in Portland, Oregon called Dunthorpe. If anybody's been to Portland, it's like old money. It's in West Portland. They're all huge mansions. Nobody ever moves there from there. Like, honestly, there might be 1 or 2 sales every 10 years, and it's usually within the family kind of thing. Well, that's great niche price point wise, but it's a terrible niche because nobody ever moves. So you got to think about a niche where there's turnover and there's real problems that need to be solved. I'd rather have a subdivision that has, half the subdivision turned over every 2 years in a $300,000 range. That's a great niche. I want to be the expert in that neighborhood. I want to get known. So the answer is yes, you need to be out there. You need to do the passive stuff, but you have to be solving a problem, and they have to know it through your marketing that they actually have. What's their problem? And there has to be enough of them that they're going to say, okay, I need to talk to you. If there's not enough people reaching out to say I need to talk to you, maybe it's not a great niche. There's not enough issues in that niche. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah. Can I stick around and talk to you about it afterwards?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right.
Yep. And thank you guys. It's 11 o'clock. So thank you guys for being here. Hope this helps. Email me anytime if you want to talk more. We'll probably do another class Monday. I like doing these masterminds sometimes just to get people to come to the office. And a good turnout for Monday, Brent. Thanks for being here. Yeah.